Okay, so I did the numbers, and it turns out I may be one video short to cover while I'm on vacation, or at least just like trying to just recover from vacation. I don't know. Either way, I need to do another video, so I'm doing it from here in Mauritius. So if you hear a rooster calling, a car driving by, or someone opening a door really loudly, that's why. This is not my usual setup. Anyway, this episode, you've seen the title, it is the Forosaurus. I believe I said in the Dodo Flock video that I was going to do all of the Forosaurus because I said they would be their own video. And here they are. I cannot sort by rarity though, unfortunately. So, I flipped the phone upside down. Whoops. Not that you could have seen it. Let's just start with the original Forosaurus. I don't think I changed any of your stats except for the critical. Okay, I see what I'm doing here. I decided to make these guys just have like the highest critical damage this website will allow me possible. Honestly, I would have gone for a lot higher because their regular critical chance is already so low, like the base amount. So then when they really get a critical hit, they're dealing massive damage to make them just a bit more desirable if you feel like gambling today, gambling with trophies and points. Not that this will change Forosaurus too much. Oh yeah, I added counter peck as well. So, okay. So, if you survive a sidestep, if you still somehow survive, you're going for Raking Claws, which is like 3,000 damage, and a counter peck. So these are basically full-on glass cannons that could become even more of a glass cannon when they really dish out the damage. Oh, and I gave it stuck in landing, because there's really no point to swap in evasion anymore, because this exists now, and it's dumb that only some creatures have it, while Quetzalcoatl and Forosaurus are suffering without it. It's dumb. Very dumb. Oh, and I gave it bleed immunity. I can't remember if it had bleed to begin with before. Honestly, I haven't looked at Forosaurus in ages. I just know these are what I gave it. I don't remember anything else about it. Moving on to the next dude, it's Kalenkin. You can already see. I love this feature so much. It just makes things so much easier for me to actually just look at the creatures I need all at once. Here is Kalenkin, another one of my favorite terror birds. There aren't really that many options though, so sidestep, Raking Claws, evasive imp. Didn't you you had evasive strike before? I just gave you evasive impact because there was really no point to you having the other one before. More damage, because I remember they secretly nerfed your damage in the past. A lot more critical damage. And you have medium counterattack as opposed to swap in. What did the other one do? Counter peck. That's something I made for the pterosaurs. Cleanse vulnerable, break shields, bypass armor, attack ×1, unable to, and there it pins him down as well. And then this one is just like a medium counterattack, right? Yeah, because this thing's dealing like 1,700 damage, and rare tournaments are a lot harder than common tournaments, so gotta be a little more nerfed here. And swap and dodge so you can still deal damage to it even when it does come in. And also immune to vulnerable as opposed to swap preventation. Oh yeah, I think they always were immune to bleed. I don't remember, okay? I haven't looked at terror birds in a long time. Next is the only epic terror bird, which is very confusing to me, because you'd think there would be more. I don't know if I buffed its stats or anything, I just gave it that. These might be its regular stats, honestly. None of your moves are the same, but I gave you swap and dodge because it just made sense to see you Forosaurus. I don't really think I changed much about this guy at all, because I see people every now and then, they'll come out with this thing, and it's because of its resistances, it's a pretty unexpected counter to a lot of different things. Maybe I should have boosted its damage a bit, but it does have double rampages, so I think we'll leave it as is. Okay, maybe I should have given you Clever Pounce as opposed to just regular High Pounce, since that's part of the Delta, the buff I gave to Delta and a bunch of other raptors. But I think we'll just leave it as is. And Telorachus time. This one is from Jurassic World, the game, which, so, yeah, boosted stats. Why am I talking about boosted? This is my own creation here. A 10% critical chance, probably should have nerfed that a bit, but I think I'll leave it the way it is. Group Definite Strike, instant buff. Group Shattering Impact, Definite Rampage, Stuck Landing. Not as OP. I tried to make sure it's different from. I literally just made this thing a fierce. There's really only two things cunning about it, is that it has definite and dodge. Wow. Okay. Yeah. This thing's very different from all the others. This thing has no distraction abilities at all. Okay, yeah, I like the way this one turned out. You all know what Arachnis looks like. You've played the game. I think that was like one of my best Cenozoic hybrids while I was still playing Jurassic World the game. I kind of stopped playing after a while because every time I open it up thinking, let me revisit it, the game crashes, and on top of that, everything is like so much work just to get a new tournament creature. I mean, this game is also a lot of work to get creatures, but it feels like less work compared to what I have to do in Jurassic World the game. Next we have the underrated legendary terror bird. It's Grylenkin. I remember this guy got a buff a while, like a long time ago, and actually liked it a lot, but now it's no good. I don't think it's, I had to beef it up myself, and even then I don't think this is enough to really make it desirable. Aside from that, 150 critical damage. Maybe evasive, I could change evasive stance to something. Well, this is my own version of evasive stance where it cleanses, and the cooldown is a lot shorter compared to other ones. I gave it venomous counter. Maybe I could have given you like a real counterattack, but you know what? It's fine. Now, it looks like I did not even make a Forosaurus buff because I don't remember if it needed a buff or anything, but you know what? It's been sorta just falling apart recently because no one else is using it as much. So let's see if we can give it a little something extra to make it a bit more desirable. First of all, boosting that critical damage for when this thing gets a critical hit. I remember back in the day, it was this dude and Cephalosaurus. Those were the two that dominated the meta back in the day. Let's boost your damage. Actually, no, let's not boost your damage. You're fine the way you are. But let's give you a very tiny counterattack. Where is minimal, no, not critical counter, just medium resilient counter. Okay, where is minor precise counter? There we go. That'll work. That should be enough to just give this thing a very small buff. Delayed Rampage and Run, honestly, that's a very pointless ability, especially now that we have things like Indenemis that can have debilitating Rampage and Run, and it's just one cooldown, so let's just, where is just regular Rampage? Actually, you know what? Let's give this thing a bit of an edge, and give it Precise Rampage and Run, if I can find it. Precise Afflicting Rampage, no, Precise Decelerating Rampage, Precise Rampage, Precise... Is there no Precise Rampage and Run? There's Precise Impact and Run. Nah, just, okay, fine. Just regular Rampage and Run. Where is it? It's here somewhere. Oh my gosh, this is taking a while. RA. This is going to take up most of the video. Rampage and Run. There we go. That'll help it a bit. Because there's really, they nerfed it back in the day, but now everything else is OP, so there's really no point in nerfing it anymore. Probably could have given you bleed immunity, but you know what? We got to make this thing stoppable somehow. Back to the forest rackets. There we go. Forosaurus right there. Wonder how many of you have not even come to this point and you already commented, where's Forosaurus? Despite the fact that it's come here at the 8-minute mark. Now let's talk about its hybrid, Fororex. Wow, it's taking a while to load that. I don't think I changed much. I did not change its abilities at all. Oh, I gave it Alert Rending Lockdown back because, again, there's no point for it to be gone anymore. 140 as opposed to, because I don't think anyone will be able to handle it if that thing goes for Cautious Cunning Rampage, gets the critical, and then murders you with a massive amount of damage. I don't think anyone's going to be able to handle that. Other than that, I didn't change too much because Fororex just needs a small push in the right direction just to get back on top again. Not on top, but just to run with the new meta relevant dinosaurs. This thing terror birds count as dinosaurs, don't they? Because birds are dinosaurs. That's a common thing. Like, I know it's like not every dinosaur is a bird, but every bird is a dinosaur. So, yeah, that's it. Terror bird is a dinosaur. Unless you're going to tell me that terror bird is somehow not a dinosaur because it's somehow not a bird. Like how they say that Parasauritherium is actually a rhino and Dinotherium is not an elephant somehow. Science is confusing for my simple-minded brain. Let's move on to my own version. I think I made this dude before I even knew about Fororex. Yeah, I remember back like the early days before the very late years of my old channel. This was something I made before that even existed. This was meant to be a resilient as opposed to a fierce. Let's see, also 140, a lot more health as opposed to the attack, a bit more speed, just instant rampage as opposed to what I had before. I think this dude just has all priority moves aside from that one shielded accelerating strike. Medium nullifying counter, swap in charge, which was I made for the Digimoloch, which is a 100% chance to stun for one turn as well as attacking, and then unable to swap for 2 turns. This one does not pierce armor, unlike Swap and Stunning Strike. And just a small amount of resistances. This one actually has a description, because I actually add descriptions to my creatures back then. The less popular cousin of Forosaurus, these larger birds often lead flocks of Forosaurus to lands with more prey and resources. Huh. So I think what I'm saying is, because Digimoloch is technically stronger, bigger than Dracorex. Technically, it's like the middle stage of the Pachy. I'm not sure what the paleontologists say about it, but that's why I said this guy's like a bit bigger and bulkier than the Dracorex. They might be they're basically related technically. Yeah, speaking. Yeah. I don't know what I'm talking about. Burbon. Now I believe I named this dude based on Barbon, which is basically a character from Detective Conan, and, well, I've been watching the whole show recently, and that's why, just like a while back, I made Deku Mimus, which was obviously My Hero Academia Midoriya as a Baryonyx, because I was doing Baryonyx videos, and I had My Hero Academia on the mind, so I thought, here, and now I got Detective Conan on the mind, I'll just make a Detective Conan character. Wow, I gave this guy a lot of health, a lot of damage, a lot of critical damage, and not as much speed as others. Alert Fatal Strike. This is meant to be a wild card, right? Alert Fatal Strike. Determined Rampage. You all know Determined Strike. You all know how annoying and OP it is. This is exactly that, but a Rampage. Critical Sidestep. Group Revenge Shattering Rampage. This is the one that the Megalochops used, right? And Telechop. No, not that. It was It was basically the Megalosaurus and Telechops combined. It had that move where I was very excited it had that they were giving Telechops a hybrid, and then it turned out it's a completely different type of Revenge Shattering Rampage. It's Group Revenge Shattering Rampage, and it works differently. It's like on its own, it has a cooldown of 2, which really affects the playability of that creature, and it just really hurt because I really wanted to use it, and I couldn't. And then on top of that, it only works as a real revenge. Wait. Oh, okay, no, hang on. It looks like they changed the ability since last time, but I'm still salty about it. I've been so salty about it, I just refuse to use it at all. Survival Instinct, Ferocious Shield on Escape, which is pretty much just Dust Cloud on Escape, basically. And it's immune to Rend, because that's a thing now. I might as well just play along with Ludia's logic. And is that all? I did not give this dude any description. And yeah, okay, let's move on to the final one. You all know him, Gastornis. Omegas are now a thing. I might as well add an Omega, one Omega of every type. I should have to go back and add Omegas now? I don't know. Is this guy as OP as Burbon? No, he has more speed, and a lot more critical chance, but a lot less in damage and health. As for that, he has Accelerated Daring Strike, Requiem Rampage, which was originally unique to Spriganopteryx, which was my Spriggan plus Hatzegopteryx hybrid thing. But then, Ludia's now doing the thing where they take unique abilities and just throwing them onto... Well, actually, no, they just make up their own abilities. I was too lazy to come up with a new ability for this dude. Wait. Huh. It looks like I was experimenting a bit here with giving this... Because this guy is an Omega, so he needs to have at least 4 abilities that he needs to unlock. It looks like those abilities are... Instant Buff, Counter Peck, Crux Boost, and Collision Course. Or just Collision. Because if I gave him another ability, when would you unlock that? Level 26? I feel like that's just a bit mean. I guess that sounds like something Ludia would do to a future Apex. Omega. But then, now that we have... This was made before I actually knew about the Rubber Rex coming to JWA. The Rubber Rex only has 3 moves to unlock. So I guess I came up with something completely different. Gave it a bunch of these, a counterattack, a swap in, and a on escape, but only 3 moves. Just like a regular epic or something. This could honestly just be like a regular epic. But of course, during epic tournaments, only 2 abilities would be unlocked. So these 2 would probably be... I guess the way I would order it is as you level it up. When you get to the rares, you unlock its instant buff. When you get to the epics, you get to the... Yeah, let's get the counterattack. Then you get... it's just in order, honestly. And its resistances are just Rend, Swap, Taunt, and Affliction. Nothing else. And I don't need to give just a description to Gastornis, because you know who Gastornis is. And that's where I'm going to end this video, guys. Thank you for watching on the Terror Birds. Don't ask for what can be made next, because I think I'm going to be making another episode just in case for, like, next week. So next week there'll be another episode of JWA Fixes. You can quote me on that. I'm probably going to do one right away.